Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Drunken Rant Uncensored. We're back, baby, and drunker than ever.
You already need another drink.
Shh.
All right, fine.
Tonight, we're diving into some seriously fucked up shit, Olivia. What are we calling this shit show?
We're calling this one Badge Hopping Bonanza, Michigan's fucked up cop carousel. Get it? Because these dirty cops are just spinning from one department to the next, no matter how many times they fuck up.
Olivia,
yeah.
You're brilliant. I fucking love it. And hey, listeners, if you're enjoying the show so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment down below. Tell us about the worst cops you've encountered. We love a good horror story, especially when it involves a badge and a gun.
And don't forget to tell us if you think they're hot. I have a thing for uniforms, you know?
You and me both, Peg. All right, let's get down to business. So, we've been sipping on this article from 7 News Detroit, and let me tell you, it's enough to make you want to swear off cops altogether. Apparently, Michigan lawmakers are finally trying to stop these bad cops from bouncing around from department to department like a goddamn ping pong ball. But the question is it too little, too late?
That's what we're going to find out tonight, Liam. So, this article from 7 News Detroit, right? They did this whole expose on how problem officers are, like straight up job hopping despite having scandals, lawsuits, and even criminal charges following them around like a bad smell.
It's like they think a new uniform washes away all their sins. It's fucking ridiculous.
Right. What the fuck are these guys still getting hired? It's like these police departments are just passing around a ticking time bomb and hoping it doesn't explode on their watch.
Okay, so let's get into some specifics. Olivia, you want to hit us with some of the highlights? Or should I say lowlights?
Oh, I've got some juicy ones for you, Liam. So, there's this one case about a Detroit cop who straight up punched a citizen in the face, got fired, obviously, but guess what? He lands a job in East Point. Like nothing ever happened. What the actual fuck?
That's insane. Like, did they not even bother to Google the guy? It takes 5 seconds to find out if someone's got a history of brutality.
Right, and it gets worse. We've got a Highland Park cop who tasered a homeless man for literally no reason. Guess where he is now? Still out there, wearing a badge. And get this, an Oakland County Sheriff's deputy was caught buying drugs while on duty and using racial slurs. And you know what? Holly Police Department thought, hey, this guy sounds like a great addition to our team. It's mind-blowing.
It's like they're handing out badges at a fucking flea market. No background checks, no standards. Just, hey, you want to be a cop? Here's a gun and a license to abuse power.
It's scary, Liam. It's like the Wild West out there, but instead of cowboys. We've got cops with anger management issues and a serious lack of judgment.
So, what's the deal? Are departments just not reporting why these guys are leaving, or are they straight up lying?
It's both, Liam. The article mentions departments often claiming an officer left in good standing when they were actually under investigation or facing internal charges. Like, What kind of bullshit is that?
It's like a used car salesman trying to sell you a lemon.
Yeah.
But with way higher stakes.
Exactly. And then there are cases where departments just don't bother with background checks at all. It's like they don't give a shit.
So basically, these bad cops are slipping through the cracks like cockroaches in a dirty kitchen. It's fucking disgusting. But wait, there's got to be some solution.
Right.
They can't just let this shit continue.
Well, Liam, that's where things get interesting.
Ooh. You know, I love it when things get interesting.
It seems like Michigan lawmakers are finally waking up and smelling the coffee. Or should I say, smelling the bullshit.
All right, Olivia, spill the tea. What are these lawmakers proposing? Are they finally going to crack down on these asshole cops?
Well, they're trying to, Liam, they've put together this package of bills that on the surface looks pretty promising.
Lay it on me, babe. Give me the deets.
Okay, so first up, they want to make it mandatory for departments to fully disclose why an officer left. Like, no more of this resigned in good standing bullshit when the guy was actually caught beating the shit out of a suspect. Full transparency, baby.
Yeah, that makes sense. Transparency is key, especially when it comes to people who have the power to, like, arrest you and shit.
Right. We need to know who these motherfuckers are and what they've done.
So no more hiding behind vague language and bureaucratic bullshit.
Exactly. They want to force departments to come clean about their dirty laundry. And they want to give MCOLES, you know, that agency that's supposed to be policing the police, more power to actually set standards for background checks. Because right now it's like the Wild West out there.
So they're basically saying, hey, if you want to hire a cop, you got to do a deep dive into their past no matter what.
Yep, pretty much. Which, honestly, should have been the fucking standard from the beginning.
Seriously. Like, how hard is it to check someone's record before you hand them a gun and a badge?
It's not hard at all, Liam. It's just laziness and incompetence, if you ask me.
Or maybe they just don't give a shit. Maybe they're happy to turn a blind eye as long as these asshole cops keep the undesirables off the streets.
You know what, Liam? You might be right about that, and it's a fucked up, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so full transparency, stricter background checks. What else? Can they, actually take away a cop's badge if they're a total scumbag?
You bet your ass they can. That's another big part of these bills. They want to give the state more authority to actually revoke a law enforcement license if an officer is found to have committed serious misconduct.
So no more badge hopping for these bad apples. They're done finito kaput.
That's the idea, Liam, but the question is, will it actually work?
Good point. I mean, it sounds good on paper, but we all know how good politicians are at talking the talk without walking the walk.
Exactly. And that's why I'm a little skeptical, Liam. While these bills are a step in the right direction, I can't help but wonder if they go far enough. I mean, what about the departments that lie about an officer's record? Or those that just completely fail to do a proper background check? Shouldn't there be some kind of punishment for that?
You're preaching to the choir, Olivia. Imagine if a restaurant served you food that was, totally rotten and made you sick. They'd get shut down, right? So why shouldn't the same apply to police departments that are putting dangerous people on the streets?
Exactly. It just doesn't seem fair that these departments can get away with putting the public at risk without any real consequences.
It's like they're above the law, they can do whatever the fuck they want and get away with it.
That's the problem with power, Liam. It corrupts. And when you give someone a badge and a gun, it's like you're giving them a license to abuse that power.
And you know what else pisses me off? The fact that it took investigative journalists to expose this shit in the first place. Shouldn't there be systems in place to prevent this from happening in the first place?
Ugh, tell me about it. It's like we're living in some dystopian nightmare where we can't even trust the people who are supposed to be protecting us. What happened to serve and protect?
More like lie and neglect. Am I right?
You got that right.
But hey, at least some lawmakers are finally taking this issue seriously. It's a small step, but it's a step in the right direction,
Absolutely. And hey, maybe this will inspire other states to take a closer look at their own police departments and see if they have similar problems, because I have a feeling this isn't just a Michigan thing,
Yeah, you're probably right. Bad cops are like cockroaches. They're everywhere. That's a disturbing thought. I need another drink.
Me too, Liam, me too.
Okay, so we've talked about the proposed solutions. But what about the elephant in the room? What about MCOLES? They're the ones who are supposed to be keeping an eye on all these bad cops, right?
Right. But it seems like they've been dropping the ball big time. The article mentions several cases where MCOLES failed to flag problem cops before they got hired by another department. It's like they're not even trying.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So it's not just the departments that are to blame here. MCOLES is also complicit in this whole mess.
It sure seems that way, Liam, and that's really concerning because they're supposed to be the ones with the power to actually do something about it. But if they're not even doing their jobs properly, then what hope is there?
Man, this whole thing is just depressing as hell. It's like the system is rigged against us, No matter what we do, these bad cops just keep on winning.
Don't give up hope just yet, Liam. Remember those bills we were talking about? Well, if they pass, they could actually give MCOLES the tools they need to do their job properly. They could have the power to set real standards for background checks, to investigate departments that are lying about their hiring practices, and to actually revoke the licenses of these bad cops.
You're right, Olivia. There's still hope.
Yeah.
We just need to keep fighting and make sure that these bills actually become law. And we need to hold MCOLES accountable, too. They need to step up their game and start doing their damn job.
Yes. We need to demand better from our elected officials and from law enforcement agencies. We deserve to live in communities where we feel safe and protected, not threatened by the very people who are supposed to be keeping us safe.
You know what, Olivia? I think that's a perfect note to end on. We need to demand better. We deserve better. And we're not going to settle for anything less. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
I need another drink. This is depressing.
Yeah, another round couldn't hurt. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom, right? Not all cops are bad.
Oh, yeah. Definitely not saying they're all bad. Just, it's hard not to feel cynical,
I know what you mean, but we gotta remember the good cops. The ones who actually care about doing the right thing,
Yeah.
They're out there, risking their lives. You can't forget about them.
So how do we support those good cops? Besides, donuts and free coffee and shit.
Good question. I think one thing we can do is speak out. Whenever we see police brutality or misconduct, like humor, whether it's happening to us or someone else, we can't just ignore it.
Yeah, silence is complicity, right?
Exactly. Report it, share it on social media. Organize a protest. Call your representatives. Like, whatever you can do, make some noise. Don't let them get away with it.
Yeah. No more free passes. But how do we actually hold them accountable? They seem to, like, get away with murder sometimes.
It's tricky. The system is, like, definitely set up to protect them. But there are things we can do. Like, you can educate ourselves about our rights and the laws around police conduct.
You know your rights and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, document everything. Record your interactions with the police and, like, know what they can and can't do when it comes to things like searches and seizures.
No, knowledge is power, baby.
Exactly. And, you know, we can support organizations that are fighting for police reform and accountability. There are so many great groups out there doing amazing work.
We should give some shout outs in the show notes.
Yeah, we should. But, like, ultimately, I think the most important thing is that we, like, stay informed and stay engaged. Don't just, like, tune it all out, you know? We need to pay attention, educate ourselves, and be ready to fight back when we see injustice.
Yeah, I feel you. It's easy to just get overwhelmed by it all, you know?
Yeah.
But we can't let them win.
For sure.
We got to channel that anger into something productive.
Exactly.
Demand better.
From our elected officials and from law enforcement.
Well said. I think that's a perfect place to wrap things up for tonight. Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Drunken Rant Uncensored. Remember, folks, stay informed, stay angry, and stay thirsty for justice.
And if you see something, say something. Don't let these bastards get away with it.
Cheers to that. Until next time, keep those drinks strong.
And those voices louder.